Peace and welcome to our top 10 Mega Man themes in gaming. This list does not include the Mega Man X series and no spin-offs. We are strictly talking about Mega Man 1 through 11. Even with narrowing it down that much, we will still be forced to leave out a lot of really good themes, so don't be angry if your favorite theme isn't listed. With no further delay, our top 10 Mega Man themes. Number 10, Mega Man 8, Frostman. Our first up today comes from the first 32-bit Mega Man game. The step forward from Mega Man 7 to this one is noticeable not only in the graphics, but just as much in the music. The quality is high, but to be blunt, what really puts this on the list is the bass line. Without that bass line, you do still have some horns and flutes in there, but I have to give it to the bass. It's funky and it almost reminds me of some Hideki Naganuma. Number 9, Mega Man 7, Cloudman. Our next track today comes from the first game in the series from the 16-bit generation. And when you hear the music, you can tell. It took everything from the first 6 games and went to another level. The extra channels and less compression really show. The theme itself has an upbeat feel and also gives me the feeling that success is just a matter of time. And then don't forget that bass. Again, Mega Man comes through with a good bass line. And yeah, it's not from a 32-bit game, but this shows what the Super Nintendo was capable of. Number 8, Mega Man 4, Dive Man. Maybe an underrated soundtrack in the Mega Man series, and one of the better themes on the soundtrack is none other than Dive Man. This theme does happen to be on a water stage, and we all know water stages are terrible to play. The mechanics are changed, the gameplay is slow, and is made to be a chore if you have to keep getting air to breathe. But the one good thing to come from water stages is the music. Some of the best themes in all of gaming happen to be from water stages. Number 7, Mega Man 4, PHARAOH Man. So this one is a personal favorite of mine. Kratos and Egg didn't really say anything about this one, but it was my doing. I think Mega Man 4 may not have the best soundtrack of the Mega Man series, but it does have a few gems. And this is one of my Mega Man 4 gems. This theme builds anticipation and gives me the feeling of determination. It may not be an easy mission, but it will be worth it in the end. Number 6, Mega Man 2, Quick Man. sixth spot is held by one that may or may not be inspired by Spring Love by Stevie B. I think it's just a coincidence, but you never know. Besides all of that, once this track gets going, it does set a cool little mood, and it does jam. Its pacing and tempo are a really good fit for some background music while you run around as the Blue Bomber himself. Number 5. Mega Man, ELEC Man. One that really needs no introduction. I think this is a familiar one to most of our subscribers, maybe oddly familiar. This is the first theme we talked about in our Oddly Familiar series, so we kind of have a connection to this theme and we felt it deserved a spot. It may sound like everything, but the theme still makes us think of good old vintage Mega Man. The original and first Mega Man on the NES, and the game that kickstarted a legendary franchise that includes TV shows, figures, and a ton of video games. Number 4. Mega Man 3. The Ending. I really enjoy Proto Man's whistle, and when you base your entire theme on it, this is what you get. A great tune for an ending of a game. The whistle part has an uplifting feel, then it takes a little bit of a somber turn, but nothing can bring down that beginning. Between the Proto Man whistle and the rest of it that was built along with it, it's a very memorable track, as long as you can beat the game and see the end credits. Number 3. Mega Man 8. Stage Select. Personally, I think this one is underrated. This smooth track just somehow kept climbing up our list and made it all the way to the 3rd spot. It's one that I didn't even think of before making the list, but once I played it, it all came back to me. It's a simple beat, there isn't a lot of things going on, but music doesn't always need that. Sometimes less is more. It lets your imagination wander a little further. Some people may pass it off as just another menu theme and never gave it a listen because it's just during the stage select after all, and that's one reason I call it underrated. Number 2. Mega Man 2. Dr. Wily Stage 1. Probably the most popular theme from any Mega Man game. I have seen more rendition videos of this on YouTube than any other Mega Man theme, and maybe every other video game theme besides Super Mario Bros. 1-1. I think a lot of people would put this in their top spot, and with good reason. For one, you can't deny its influence. It's basically everywhere. And then it's an action-packed theme full of 8-bit energy from start to finish. You can't go wrong with this theme, and if you have this as your number 1, I can't say you're wrong and argue against it. We just happen to like one theme a little bit more. 3, the title screen. This intro has a nice level of anticipation. It starts slow enough and lulls one into a false sense of relaxation. Then you get an 8-bit explosion of bleeps and bloops that sucks the player right in. Combine this theme with Mega Man and you have a combination that is already beyond 90% of the games on the market. This is a perfect opening theme to build the hype and let the player know exactly what type of game is ahead. An action-packed theme for an action-packed game. So there you have our favorite 10 Mega Man themes. We know there were a lot of really good themes left out, so who knows, we may do a part 2. Our next top 10 will be our favorite tracks by Yoko Shimomura. So go ahead and comment with your favorite tracks. And now for our gold level patrons. Shout out to Zero Briggs and Bearsona 11. I am ICC, thanks for watching, peace.